So, structure and design principles. There are four typical principles that are used in the aircraft design. For the fuselage, the skin is attached to the frames and stiffened by stringers. Okay, so it's interwoven in some way and it's riveted on. Usually, most probably, it's in the olden aircraft, the up to now existing aircraft. It's usually aluminium or aluminium alloy, or what Americans call durable aluminium. All right, for the boxes and skins stiffened with stiffeners are attached to spars and ribs. And composite parts could be two types. They're called a monolithic skin design or a sandwich construction design, which is a honeycomb with outer top and bottom skins that are bonded to a honeycomb core section, which has the advantages that it's very light and very durable and very strong. So these are the four typical principles that are used in the A320 today. On all four models that we have for the 320, they are all categorized. They have ATA chapters in the following sort of layout for all four different variants, the 318, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so we have the ATA 52 is the doors, ATA 53 is the fuselage. So, and all these, except from 52, all the other chapters you'll find more in the SRM, the structural items, rather than the AMM, the aircraft maintenance manual. Okay, so 52 doors, 53 fuselage, 52 is for the nacelles and the pylons. Okay, so the pylons or the struts. Some people call them the struts. Some people call them the pylons. Are these bits of metal that actually the engine attached? They're attached to the wing, and the engine is attached to the pylons and the nacelles around the engine. But some of the nacelles and the pylons are part of the aircraft, not part of the engine. The engine chapters will be in the engine will be in another section in the 70s chapters, which we'll do in 2 or 3 sessions from now. 55 are the stabilizers. Okay, so we have a horizontal stabilizer. Okay, that pitches the aircraft in this axis, and a vertical stabilizer that pitches the aircraft in what they call the Z-axis, in the yaw plane. Okay, and gives the aircraft stability here at the back end when the flight controls or the engines are altering the aircraft's attitude. 56, where's 56 is windows. Okay, so we have the cockpit windows and all the cabin windows, and there are some windows on the doors as well, on the entry doors. And lastly, 57 is exclusively for the wings. Okay, and we use these chapters predominantly when we're doing structural stuff. Hence, that's why they're in the structural repair manual. So if you have a damage, you'll go to SRM number 51, chapter 51, which is the basis. It's not in here because in 51 is the rules of the game. And in 51, it will tell you where to go to next. And it will tell you if you got a damage in the pylons, go to 54. If you got a damage in the fuselage, go to 53, etc. But in there, it also has the basics and the explanations, the rules of the SRM, the inspection procedures, the categories of damage, etc., etc. It's a really good document. And in our library, we have 2 trainings, the initial and the intermediate SRM on the 320. So it is pretty relevant. Now, Airbus also, once we're talking about 45-year technology, they decided that they're going to have these items. Some are metallic and some are non-metallic. This is just a general overview of all the passenger doors, passenger and service doors. So under chapter 52. Okay, so you'd have passenger and crew doors and emergency exit doors are indicated in this bright green. Okay. Cargo compartment doors are indicated in this browny green color, dark olive color. Okay, so we have on the 319-2021, we have 3 cargo doors. We have the forward cargo door, the aft cargo door, and the bulk cargo door. And on the 318, because it's so short, we don't have a bulk cargo door. Okay. And then we also have access and service doors or panels to be able to perform maintenance and gain access for maintenance. They're in this red color, all over the aircraft. And they're there to enable us to access certain areas to be able to perform maintenance. They're usually aluminium alloy or composite structure, depending on their location and the use for them, etc., etc. And lastly, we have the landing gear doors. Okay, we did landing gear in the last session where we talked about these moving doors and the fixed doors that are attached to the landing gear itself. Here are the swinging out, the landing gear doors that come out when a landing gear extension or retraction is initiated. Okay, so all these are items for the description for chapter 52, which is the doors. In terms of the fuselage, here is a brilliant indication of the different sizes or the dimensions of the 4 different models. We said the A320 is the base. This one was made first. And then about 4 years after the first 320, they decided to make a longer version of it, and they called it the 321. And what they did was added extra sections on it. Okay, so they added some sections. They replaced the center frame. So the center, the wing box with this section here, the center section. You can see there's 2 overwing exits. They replaced it with a piece with no overwing exits because they put emergency exits here, emergency doors fore and aft of the center section, because they had to increase the area of evacuation, so to speak. They had to comply with this 90-second rule. So there's this rule where if you're going to build an aircraft, you have to ensure that the aircraft can be evacuated safely within 90 seconds. The longer the aircraft, the more the people. The more the people, the more exits you need to be able to comply with this 90-second rule. So you can see here, what they do is very clever. They add or take off sections as required. Each section has a number, a description. Okay, so this is section 1314, which you'll find in the SRM. And section 1314 is just aft of the nose compartment, nose bit, so to speak. Okay, and these, typical to Airbus, as we said in the first training, they are all manufactured in the specific factories around the world, around the world now, because there's bits made in Canada, there's bits made in Europe, and some bits made in China now to include them so they can sell to China. In fact, a production line, it's not long before a production line comes up in China. I think there is a production line. They're already producing Chinese A320s. Okay, there is a production line for that. But you can see they add or remove sections to be able to comply with the regulations. And therefore you have the longest version of the 321. with no overwing exits, but emergency doors fore and aft of the center section. You have the base, the 320, which came like this from its birth, with two overwing exits each side. Then they had the A319, where they said, okay, this is a bit smaller. Instead of having two overwing exits, we're going to just put one overwing exit.